Who's got the first question for Torey? Oh, we'll start with the second row on your right, Torey.
Hey, Torey.
Hey.
Offensively, is there some adjustments to be made here, or was it just a bad night offensively?
Yeah, I think every night is different given who you're going to face and what kind of stuff they have. You know, we've got our target. We know the place and spot pitches are going to land. We got the information very late last night as to who was going to be their starting pitcher, but everybody went to work on it. They'll come in today and start to get prepped about where to go with their mindset, where to set their eyes, and make adjustments from there. So that's usually what happens every single day. Now, built inside of every day, I think there's adjustments that need to be made. You got to get your sight lines. You got to see what's happening per at bat. Things aren't going to be the same every single time. And it's World Series baseball. You know, you got to be spot on. You can't miss. You got to hit the pitch that you're looking for and not miss that opportunity. And I think some of the pitching that we've seen has been really good. And it's been a little frustrating for us at times, but it just takes one good line of guys to get that thing moving in the right direction, and we can put up some big numbers. And we did that in Game 2. I'm not going to predict anything and say we're going to do it again. We just got to have quality approaches and a quality mindset, keep our competitive focus, and go to work.
Other questions? We'll go right up here, Ian, in the front here.
Hey, Torey. Going back to that Walker play from yesterday, I know you've already talked about this. Obviously, it was a really good throw from Adolis Garcia, but I'm curious, do you feel like with maybe like the best slide of Christian Walker's life or something like that, he might have had a chance to actually beat that?
It's hard for me to say, right? I know that you always look at things and break it down in slow-mo, and we talk sliding directly into bases, not kind of hand tagging and sweeping unless you're actually beat by a throw. And I know he was trying to do that, and I think there were a couple things that we got to tighten up. I have talked about them, maybe a read, a little better read, maybe picking up the third base coach. We'll figure that out and get it done on a very much better, higher level today. But no, I think Walker did all he could by getting in there, trying to get in there.
Go to the fourth row on Torey's left.
Hey, Torey, obviously I know you're concerned about tonight, but in Game 5 you'll have Zac going again. And,
right.
and Zac has had some good moments in the postseason, but hasn't really been himself through 4 or 5 starts. What do you think's kept him from being as good as he can be?
Oh, man. Well, we got to remember that Zac spoils us, right? He gets out there and goes 5, 6, 7 innings every single time. And inside of that, he might give up 2 or 3 runs, and we're so used to him giving up 0 or 1 runs. He is a human being. He's going to have some good and bad moments. And I think the reason why we're seeing him in this point in time probably not throwing up nothing but zeros is command of his pitches, command of his secondary stuff. And I know he's aware of that. He'll tell you he doesn't feel 100%, but he goes out there and competes in battles. And he can't just walk out there and get the job done because of his name. It's the time of the year where everybody's really, really good and really, really prepped. So he's got to be a little bit more efficient with his pitches, where they land, and sequence them the right way. And he's working on that right now.
When you say not 100%, is he hurt at all, or is he just tired, just doesn't feel?
No. Did I say 100%? I forget how I said what I said 100%. Yeah. No, I did say that, but I probably meant it totally different. He's 100% healthy. He's 100% engaged. He's 100% spot on. I probably am saying, we haven't been able to get 100% of what we always expect from Zac, but his 80% is pretty damn good too.
Go to the second row, Jack.
Had you have needed to use him last night, was Kevin Ginkel available to you?
Yes, he was. Everybody was fully available yesterday.
Other questions? We'll go up front here.
Hey, Torey, does the uncertainty around Garcia's potential injury play into the decision to start Manaply?
A little bit. We've done it with Joe before. I've used him as a leverage lefty. We feel like starting a lefty will set up their lineup a certain way, and we can counterpunch it and keep working through that. It's not a mystery that he's not going to throw 6 innings, right? We all know that he's going to get to a certain point in their lineup, and then we're going to start to maneuver. So we don't know what that lineup's going to look like. It may or may not have a Garcia in it, and it's going to be a challenge no matter what, with either Grossman, Jankowski as the understudies. So we will continue to prepare the best that we can. But yeah, I think the potential for him not playing changed our outlook on as to who to start.
And then how fresh do you feel like the bullpen is, just given what you're able to get pretty quick innings out of Nelson and Briasen?
Yeah, they're gassed up and ready to go. I know Frias went 1 2/3, and it was 22 pitches. That was a small concern. I was asking him to go back out there for 3 more batters, but he's a big, strong kid. Everybody's ready to go and gassed up.
Go to Nick in the third row.
Torey, is the calls there in the 9th inning on Moreno, did they bother you any less, the fact that the second one might have been like a makeup for a missed one earlier on? And then I guess just how did you see those calls to Nathaniel Lowe earlier, if you went back and looked at those?
Yeah, I looked at it all, and I was up at 3:30 this morning, steaming mad. So I'll leave it right there.
Go to Barry in the second row.
Hey, Torey, we've talked about this before, but what's your preference? Would you rather have a 4th starter here than go to a bullpen game? I mean, it's a necessary evil. You did it in the championship series a couple of years ago. Atlanta, Houston, there were multiple bullpen games because of shortages of starters.
Yeah.
What would you rather have?
Drysdale, Gibson, Koufax, Gooden, you name it. All right, let's start right there. Starting pitching is a premium. We know that. And, if you got quality arms, we're going to use them. We just feel like there's a balance there where there might be a drop-off with some of the starters that we do have or potentially could use here. And we think that the changing, the matching up is going to be a much better way for us to navigate through their lineup at this point in time of the year. It is not traditional at all if you're looking at baseball through the 2005 lens, through the 1995 lens. But I think when you have to make adjustments and you have to you got to be creative, this is one of those situations. Of course, I'd love to have 4 starters. It would make my life so much easier. But this is going to be a chess game today, and I love that game. It'll be a lot of fun.
So for the future, I remember talking to Sandy Alderson about this back in the day, and he said you need 7 or 8 starters now because guys are going to get hurt, guys are going to go down.
Yeah.
Would your preference be for Mike to build up the starting staff so that you're not in this situation in the future?
Well, I think that's always the design. We talk about 8 or 9 deep, and we call them our 8th or 9th starter when we're having some of our meetings, and those are the guys that are sitting down in AAA thinking, am I ever going to get an opportunity? Well, heck yes, you are. At some point, there's going to be a need, and there's going to be some gaps, whether there's an injury or performance-based decisions will allow you to get in there. We had 2 of our starters, and I know you kind of leaked back into the Davies situation, and Bum was also another one. And those are performance-based decisions where we just felt like we were going to have other options that were going to help us win baseball games. So we did budget for it. We did go 8 or 9 deep. A couple of them didn't perform. A couple of them got hurt. And we're in this box right now. We got to deal with it.
Do 2 last ones before Christian Walker comes in. Gabe, on your right, Torey.
Hey, Torey. When you get to the bullpen game stage of a best of 7, do you find this game itself a bigger challenge or the game after a bigger challenge?
Yeah, probably the game before is the biggest for me, and doing what we did and getting through it the way we did. I know you were asking that earlier question. It gives me a great sense of relief knowing that we're a fully gassed up bullpen. So Brandon Pfaadt did a great job pitching into the 6th inning yesterday. And it's awfully nice to know that Zac Gallen is on the backside of it because, like I said earlier too, he's usually 5 or 6 innings at least on his worst day. So I think yesterday was most critical. Today is like a puzzle. It's a lot of fun. It's just how my mind works. I'm going to have 1,000 conversations between now and the time the game starts with people around me that I trust and understand what I'm going to be looking at from the dugout, and I'll start to piece it together. And really, it is like a game of chess, right? There's a game that's happening right in front of you, but you can't get clipped on the other side of the board. So I like that, and I'm looking forward to this.
One last one for Torey. I'll finish up right here.
Kind of going back to the calls yesterday, I mean, as a player and maybe when you were a player, I mean, how hard is it to kind of come back the next day with that completely flushed?
Yeah, it's a new day, it's a new challenge and new opportunities. And I know that this team was probably looking at it last night the way I was before I went to sleep. And it got me, and I'm here to say that it was a real feeling. But I told myself that when I walked in here today, it's not going to be anything I'm going to consider or carry around with me. I can't. This game's too hard. So we got to move off of it and move on. I know everybody walking in this clubhouse today will feel the same way.
Torey, thanks so much.
Thanks,
Best
guys.
of luck. Appreciate it. Who's got the first question? Start with Nick, right in the middle. Zach.
Hi, Zach. Is there anything you can pinpoint there in those last few innings of that first start that you feel like maybe you found compared to the Phillies series?
Nothing I could necessarily pinpoint exactly. Just my delivery probably just felt a little bit more comfortable. Was just getting my body in the spots where I could repeat the delivery and execute pitches really. I think that's what it came down to.
Other questions? We'll go up front to your right.
Zach, how would you describe the relationship that you and Merrill have, and has that developed at all in the last couple seasons as you two have kind of become the mainstays and guys that are, top of the majors in terms of pitching?
Yeah, Merrill's the first guy I really, became friends with here when I got here in 19. I think that just kind of speaks to Merrill as a person. He's welcoming. He's trying to make everyone feel comfortable, and then just kind of as we've gotten further along in our careers, we've kind of been able to blend our the knowledge we both have and of seeing each other each day, and what we know makes each other tick, and what doesn't work for us. He's just us having our lockers next to each other. We kind of shoot the breeze, as one would say. We kind of just trade secrets and whatnot when it comes to pitching and things like that. So it's been a help to me for sure.
I'm wondering if you see it all. It's kind of the easy comparison is this the first Diamondbacks team since 2001, like the Schilling, Randy Johnson, two guys at the top of the rotation. Whether you guys ever discuss things in terms of like a duo together?
Not necessarily. I think Merrill would probably tell you, similar to me, that it's humbling to be mentioned in a similar fashion as that. But I think he would also tell you, just as I would tell you, that I don't think we're anywhere near those guys just yet. I think we still have a lot left to prove. But just to be in that sense, to even think about that is humbling for sure. But we just come in the field, try doing our job every fifth day, really, and just try to give the team a chance to win.
Standing out your left, Zach. Jared.
Zach, what has it been like to pitch in front of this defense all season, and how much of an impact do you think your team's defense has had in why you're here?
Yeah, I think it's been the last 2 years, really. I think last year, I'm going to guess that they take a lot of pride in their defense, and I think that last year we started to see as a team how good we were defensively, and this year I think we realized that it was an edge for us, and it was kind of part of our identity. So I think we really leaned into it, and then just from a pitcher standpoint, just knowing that those guys, there's 8 guys behind you that are going to more often than not help you save runs. With their legs, with their glove, whatever it is definitely a huge weight off our shoulders, especially with the guys we have patrolling the outfield, and how big that space is out there for them to take away doubles or singles into doubles, whatever it is. It's immense for sure.
The second row on your right, Zach.
Hey, Zach, when it comes to pitching this late into October and this sort of workload, what are the challenges to keeping the body fresh, considering maybe this time of year you might not be throwing the ball? And how does the preparation change leading up to a start?
For me, I'm treating it just like it's May, honestly. And I don't know. Hopefully this isn't the first, or hopefully this isn't the last time I'm experiencing this and this heavy of a workload, this late of a workload. But for me, I'm still trying to get better each day, really. So, I just threw like a 35-pitch bullpen yesterday, where I think some people might, try and taper it off, keep that in the 20s, whatever it is. But I'm still trying to work on things, still trying to get better. So, yeah, for me, I don't know. I'm just until the final bell rings, I'm gonna keep plugging away and keep seeing what the deal is. With my delivery and all types of different things, feels and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's maybe not the greatest thing to be throwing as much as I am, but it's what makes me feel prepared. What makes eases me mentally.
A bit further back on your left, Steve.
Zach,
Good to see you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. A couple of years ago when the Suns were in the finals, you talked about watching how the city embraced them and the fan excitement and how cool that would be to see on this end. Have you noticed that? And what's these last few weeks been like for you guys with the way the fans have come out?
Yeah. I think it hit after I think the Suns fans were chanting "Let's go D-backs." After we won Game 2, maybe I think I saw it on Twitter. So that was really cool. It's you saw the just kind of the frenzy that the Suns had created a couple years ago with them going to the finals, and knowing that this city and the fan base is here, and we just have to put a good product out there and be successful. For them to show up, rightfully so. But it's been really fun. I think I said it last week that I was really proud that we had fans show up on a Thursday game or whatever that day was, the afternoon game against Philly, and this place was sold out. I mean, that's a huge commitment coming from the city, and hopefully, we've made them proud so far and have given them a product that they're happy to embrace, and a product that they're proud to embrace. Really.
Questions for Zach? We'll go to Barry up front here.
Hey, Zach. What's your opinion of the bullpen game? Would you prefer to have like a complimentary, starters to you guys so that everything fell into place, or in this day and age, does it matter?
I mean, I think ideally any team, any organization would go, we have 5 aces that we can throw out there, and it helps limit the bullpen. But I mean, the way our bullpen's been pitching, that's like having another ace out there. I mean, I think that's just the way the game is going, and we've had some guys that have stepped up and done their job tremendously. I mean, I think it's the bullpen game. With the way our guys have been pitching lately, it's kind of in our favor a little bit.
Anything else for Zach? Right up front here.
Hey, Zach, what did you think of Brandon's performance yesterday and just how he's continued to evolve this postseason?
Yeah, I thought he looked really good yesterday, too. Obviously, one mistake. And, I mean, it's Corey Seager, so it's like, you make the mistake. It is what it is. But, I mean, I thought he still gave us a chance to win. He went out there and gave us 5 and some change. And, limit that offense to 3 runs is solid, especially – from Brandon, from what he's battled this year, and just kind of the adversity he's had to go through. I mean, I wasn't really surprised, obviously. But yeah, I mean, he looked just as good as he's had in the last couple. I mean, you take one pitch back and it's a different game. But I mean, that's the game we play. You just kind of hope sometimes when you make a mistake, they hit it foul or they pop it up or whatever it is. But yeah, Corey's hot right now, so it just happens.
Ask a lot of questions, or
yeah. I mean, he's always trying to learn for sure. I think I was sitting next to Mark Malance in the dugout yesterday, and we both kind of agreed on just the poise, just kind of the presence he has on the mound as a young guy. It's he looks unfazed out there, which is it's. I don't know that you're going to get a lot of people on this stage at that young and that early of their career that are going to look that calm. So that's saying a lot for Fott.
Do a couple last ones. Jared near the back.
Zach, in terms of your preparation and how to attack Corey Seager, what separates him or what stands out about him compared to some of the other great hitters that you've had to face?
Yeah. I mean, not to put Corey into the same bucket as a disc, but it's very similar to a lot of the really great hitters. Is like you have to pick your spots on where you're going to attack, and in spots where he can change the game, you have to be a little bit more careful. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy I've seen now since 2019, and he's gotten. I mean, what's crazy is that he's gotten better than he was a few years ago. I think it's really cool to watch because he was already at the top of the game. But yeah, he's a guy that, you know, just like the other greats in the game, you have to pick your spots when you're gonna, you know, attack and when you're gonna kind of, you know, make him try to hit your pitch and things like that. So yeah, he's really good.
One last one for Zach. Anything? All right, Zach. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah.